Hi, I'm Kimberly Coffin, and I completed an internship at the Rexburg Family Crisis Center during the spring semester of 2014. How did you find or arrange the internship? After hearing about the internship from a classmate, I decided to contact the director of the Family Crisis Center by phone and by email. The director asked me to visit the office for an interview. During my interview, I was able to learn a little bit more about the Family Crisis Center's mission and the work that they do for the community. I really had an interest in the work that the director had spoken to me about and that the Family Crisis Center performs, and I thought that it could be a really great learning experience for me. I was offered an internship for the spring semester and I accepted that offer. I've also listed all of their contact information in this slide. What were your responsibilities in the internship? As an intern, I had many different responsibilities. I worked at the front desk answering phone calls and greeting all thrift store customers and Family Crisis Center clients. I contacted current clients to check on them, perform evaluations, and inform them of our services such as counseling, food bank boxes, and the women's support group. I also spent a lot of my time working in the thrift store. I accepted donations, sorted through all of the donations, and then stocked the thrift store with items to sell. Every Wednesday, I was able to help in the Idaho Food Bank. Local companies donate their food that is close to expiring. Companies such as Albertsons, Brolum's, Great Harvest, and then we're able to put all of the food in boxes and prepare those boxes for families that are in need. Anyone that lives in the Madison County area and that falls below the poverty level is able to benefit from these services. Each Thursday night, the Family Crisis Center holds a women's support group for women who are victims of domestic violence. During this support group, these women are able to share their stories with others, and they're also able to work on overcoming their past and learning new healthy relationship skills. I was able to sit in on many different client meetings. Women and children come into the Family Crisis Center who are victims of domestic violence, stalking, and sexual assault. I was able to learn a lot about each of these topics as I listened to their stories. These clients come into our office looking for help. It could be that they need legal help, or that they're in need of counseling, or even that they need financial resources, or that they need food. Another opportunity I had was to attend court hearings with some of our clients. The most common court hearings that I was able to attend were usually civil protection orders. How did you benefit the site you served at? I was able to benefit the Rexburg Family Crisis Center in many different ways. I benefited the site that I served at by being an active participant in all that I did. I assisted many clients in gaining the resources that they were in need of. This involved everything from being an ear to listen or contacting different offices for resources that the client was in need of. I attended support group meetings. I babysat children when mothers needed to come into our office and meet with their case manager. Maybe they needed to visit the thrift store or even pick up a food box for their family. I spent a lot of my time working in the thrift store, which was a great experience because you get to meet so many different people, and everyone that comes in has a story. They have something to share. The thrift store has a great mission, and all of the proceeds help to support the clients in gaining the resources that they are in need of. I spent a good amount of my time reading informative resources about domestic violence so that I could offer our clients valuable information. I also took time to study the effects of an abusive home and the effects that it can have on children and ways that families can recover from this. I shared information with teens and young adults on what healthy relationships look like and how to avoid unhealthy ones. And finally, I passed out pamphlets at local events to raise awareness on sexual assault, stalking, and domestic violence. How did you benefit personally from the experience? I gained a great amount of knowledge from my internship. Each day was a learning experience as I worked with clients, and I had the opportunity to share information about domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking. I was able to help many different people and also learn from each of their stories. I think that was probably one of my favorite parts about the internship was meeting clients and then learning secondhand from their stories what their life was like and how they were able to overcome those obstacles. I also learned a lot about our legal system as I was able to assist clients in obtaining civil protection orders from an abusive spouse or from a partner. I gained a great amount of knowledge on all of the resources that were available to families in need. This was something that was pretty eye-opening to me. I just didn't realize how many resources are out there if a family is in need and they're struggling. It could be financially or emotionally. There are quite a few resources that the government can provide or that services within a community can provide. Overall, though, I really gained love for those who are struggling, and I learned not to judge people based solely on their appearance. I think that everyone really has a story and that they have something that we can learn from if we're willing to listen. Describe one important connection between your coursework and what you experienced during your internship. So much of my coursework really came alive as I applied it to real life situations. It's one thing to learn a theory in class and imagine how it might apply to a situation, but it's entirely different to see it in action as you're helping a client through an experience. I really enjoyed taking the past 4 years of classwork and then applying it to so many different situations. Much of the knowledge that we gain as marriage and family students is very versatile, and it has the ability to really help those that are in need who haven't ever learned those skills before. One of my most memorable experience involved a client meeting that I had sat in on. During the meeting, the case manager was called out of the room for an emergency, and I felt a little nervous being all alone with a client because I wasn't really sure if I would know what to say. But we continued talking, and as we were talking, so many different things that I had learned in my past classes just began popping into my head. She wanted help providing stability in her home for her children, and I was able to reference some of the classes I had taken, and I gave her ideas of different things that she could try in her home. And during this experience, I began to realize that you don't always have to have the right answer. Sometimes people really are just looking for someone to listen more than someone who has all the right answers. Would you recommend this site experience to other students? I would definitely recommend this site and experience to other students who are looking to complete an internship in marriage and family studies. It's a wonderful experience where you quickly gain knowledge and you have the ability to really dive right in. You're able to constantly work with new people, and all of the clients that come in have challenging situations, and each of them is unique and diverse. And it really gives you the ability to share education with them. And then one of the neatest parts is probably watching them overcome a hard situation and empowering women and children to be strong families. So I would definitely recommend this experience to other students who are looking to complete an internship. If yes, whom should students contact to arrange an internship at the site? If this internship sounds like something that you might be interested in, you can contact the director of the Family Crisis Center. Her name is Margie Harris, and I would just make sure to contact her at least one full semester in advance before the internship that you'd like to complete, just because the site tends to fill up pretty quickly. And I listed all of her contact information in the second slide if you'd like to contact her.